Hey, welcome to, or back to, BarbieCoProductions. And today, I have the new Barbie Basics Slim Ken. I got this doll not too long ago, and have been super excited to get him out of the box. This is what he's looking like so far. His hair is definitely quite gelled down, but I'm more excited about the fact that it is a new Ken made to move body and a new Ken made to move body type. Here he is out of the box. As you can see, there is definitely some obvious differences between him and the regular Kens. And this is the first doll that I have got from the Basics line, so it is my first time seeing this new easy to remove neck peg, which I must say I'm definitely a fan of. It makes the head swapping so much easier. Here he is next to a classic Ken. He's definitely a bit shorter and much thinner. I also found it interesting how this Ken doll that I modified the height on about 3 years ago now is a pretty similar height to the new petite Ken, and gives another Ken body type and height combination. But now for the main point of my video today, I wanted to go through some of my Ken or male doll collection. As you can see, there is quite a lot of made to moves here. If you've been around for a little while, you might recognize these characters as Zach and Jacob from my Roberts Family series. I have a version of these characters with a beard, but I did this beard about 4.5 years ago now. So I think they are in need of a revamp. And Jacob as well. Then I also have a version of these two without the beard, and Zach with his hair still long. That is needing a little bit of TLC because it is coming undone from the bun. These are two more Roberts Family characters, Jack and Gigi Parr. They are also customs that are pretty old. Jack's hair was a bit of a trial, and it's been a few years since I've done anything with it. And Gigi Parr is also a custom that's a few years old. I have a video up on that custom. Here is Clay from Clay and Hayley, another one of my series. He also hasn't had much face updating in quite a while, and I have thought about changing his hair up a bit. These are some more story characters, not necessarily from a series, but just characters I've used over time. This one is a Twilight Edward doll that I customized a few years back. And this is the Buff Looks Tate doll that I also customized. I put a beard on him about 2 years ago now. These characters have also been in previous stories. This one is a fashionista that I cut the plastic hair off and added hair back onto. And my other doll is a early 2000s Ryan doll that I customized the face on. These two are from the Looks line. I have my Brandon that I haven't changed much on, and my Sean face sculpt from the early wave of the Looks line, which from what I've heard is the same face mold as this new petite Ken. I think both have good faces. Here is another Looks doll. It is my Looks John doll. I customized this doll way back when. It was very early on my channel. And for a more recent custom, this was from my customizing twins video. I can't remember what number he is exactly, but he was the second buff Ken they made. Then I also have the Jack Sparrow collector's doll. I've had this doll for quite a while as well, and you might remember seeing him in my first Ken collection video. And more recently, this is one of my Cali guys. This was one of my very early practices for cutting the neck to fit on a made-to-move body. So this was more of a trial because I got this doll in a really cheap bulk lot and he's missing some face paint. So I figured he was a pretty good one to try this on. More recently, when I got my petite Ken, I got 2 of them. And I opened one and put a 2000s Ken head on the body and dressed him in some of my clothes. But I really like him on this body. And there are not many Ken heads that are better than the early 2000s ones. They are definitely my favorites. The jacket is a little bit big for him as it is for my regular Kens. Just like this one, who from what I know is from Fashion Fever, I'm pretty sure. I got him on eBay and added a beard to him. If you saw the video I did about 2 videos back, you would have seen him there. And this era of faces, it really is just the best. There is so much detail to them. And since discovering that cutting the necks was an option and figuring out how to do that, I have been going through and collecting up some of the older Kens that I like the faces on, including this prince who I was super excited to find and is going to be perfect in my videos. As well as Happy Family Grandpa. I've had this doll for a while and I'm super excited to get him on a body. Then there's also Happy Family Alan. He's another great option to have a very different face. These are 2 more that I found. I have the Patrick Dempsey doll and what I'm pretty sure is another Fashion Fever, but I'm not entirely sure which one. I also have the Addams Family Gomez doll and a doll from the, I'm pretty sure it's Rebel School line, an older Barbie line. I know they came out with a reproduction not so long ago, but this is one of the earlier ones. I also have a Fashion Fever Kurt doll. This one I was really happy to find. And another version of Alan that is slightly different. He actually has different coloured eyes, which I thought was really interesting. And here is another Alan that looks very different again. They seem to have varied faces based off what set they came from. This one though is a little more beat up and he does have some paint on his leg and a little stain on his face. Although not all the dolls I have been finding are necks that I have to cut down. I'm pretty sure he is the Jurassic World Owen doll. I got him quite a while ago at a really good price. And he has the neck that goes straight onto a made-to-move body, which is really good. And not all the dolls I've been collecting up are Kens. I have this BTS doll who I've had for about 4 years now, but I do want to try and put him on a made-to-move body. And I also have this High School Musical doll. And obviously I cannot forget Trevor, which if you have watched the Roberts Family episodes that I've made, you may remember Trevor. And unfortunately, Trevor's customizing has been a little bit neglected, as he is not yet on a made-to-move body, so I definitely need to change that.
Yeah, please do.
But now, seeing as these 3 have been sitting here this whole time, I think they need an outfit. So I went through my clothes and put together some outfits that I think will work for them. These are what the first 2 outfits look like on. But even though this new face is really nice for Slim Ken, I need some time to do something with his hair, so in the meantime I'm just going to take his head off, add this neck peg attachment, and put on one of my 2000s heads. Much better. Now I can put on the last outfit. Here's all three of them together. And these are what the outfits look like. A lot of these are clothes that I've made, but some of them are older Ken clothes. I do really like essentially mixing the eras, so weaving in some of the really well made older Ken fashions. I think especially for Ken, they made him some really great pieces in this kind of era. And I definitely need to make some clothes specifically for Slim Ken because most of my clothes are a bit big on him. But that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below or check out my community tab where I post regular behind the scenes pictures and updates. Bye! Just as a quick disclaimer, my videos are intended for a 13+ audience and are not made for kids. As an adult who collects dolls, I use customization methods and sharp tools that are not suitable for children.